So this is another session in Android. Welcome to this another session in Android. In this session we are going to discuss r.java file, how the r.java file is generated, how the resources are organized into the r.java file, and how to access these resources that we want to discuss. You can see here, this is the process flow of execution. Our Android application would contain the Java code that we used to write using Eclipse or using any editor. We create some files like a.java, b.java. So these Java files will contain some Java code, some business logic, some activities we can create, services we can create using the Java. Along with the Java code, in our app, we use some AIDL tool. We create some code using the AIDL, and the AIDL tool converts the AIDL code into the Java file. This AIDL tool converts this AIDL code into Java code. It creates one Java file. Similarly, in the resources folder, we create some folders like drawable folder, values folder, layout folder. So many different types of XML files, images, PNG, media files, animation related XML files, means non-code related files we can store into the res folder. Now this res folder contains the resources, and the resources are converted to Java file. Now this is the area we want to discuss today, how the resources are converted to Java file. I want to show you how the resources are converted into the Java file. Suppose this is our application, and in this application I want to display some image. So here I want to display some image, some photograph I want to display here. So inside this memory, suppose this is the memory in the device, and inside this memory somewhere that image will be stored. So this is the place where the image will be stored into the memory, and the memory will have some address. You can see here, this is the address of the memory. This is the address of some memory. This is one memory address. What I am writing here, this is one memory address where this file, image file is stored. Along with this image file, there is one XML file. Suppose this is the file activity_main.xml, which we have stored in the layout folder. We have created one file in the layout folder. That means this file is stored somewhere into the memory, and the memory where it is stored, it has some address. Suppose this is the address of the memory, this is the address of the another memory, this is some location in the memory where the layout.xml file is stored. Like that, we create some string values, we create some measurement values, we create some specifications in some XML files like strings.xml, diamonds.xml, values folder. We use the values folder to store these files, and these values will be stored somewhere into the memory. For example, we have a strings.xml, and in this strings.xml I am creating one string. The name of the string is called as a hello. The name of the string is called as a hello, and the value is the hello world. The value is the hello world. This is the value. So this is one element we are creating into the strings.xml file. Now this strings.xml file will contain this string. This is a string, means this is a string object. Consider like a string object in Java. And this string object will be stored somewhere into the memory. This is the string object I am talking about, which contains the text hello world. And this is stored somewhere into the memory. This will be stored somewhere into the memory. You can see this is the memory address where that string will be stored. So what Android will do, Android will store these references. These are the references. We call these as the references. Reference means the memory address where the resources are stored. The resources may be an XML file, the resources may be an image, the resources may be some string object, the resources may be some value. some file which is stored into the memory, and all these resources this is the one resource, this is another address, this one is another address. These values are stored in a Java file, and that Java file is called as a r.java file. This one is the r.java file. And who creates this r.java file? There is one tool called as a APT tool, Android Asset Packaging tool, which will automatically create one r.java file. And how this r.java file will look like, you can see here. This is the class public final class r. This is like the class which will be created automatically. This class is created. If you go to this Eclipse, and if you open your existing folder, I want to open this second app which we have created in the previous session. Open the gen folder. In the gen folder, you can see there is one package name, and under this package name there is one file which is created automatically. The file name is the r.java file, and this r.java file is having one class. This is the class public final class r. This is the class which is created, public final class r. Now what does this class r will contain? This class r will contain subclasses, means inner classes. In Java we can write a class inside another class which is called as an inner class. For all the folders in the resources, okay, this is another important point I am telling you. For all the folders or directories under the resources folder, it will create one inner class. That means for this folder it will create one inner class. For this folder it will create another inner class. For this folder it will create one inner class. For this folder it will create one inner class. For example, in this r.java file there will be some static inner classes. Public static class, public static class drawable. This is one inner class which is automatically created under the r.java file. I want to show you in Eclipse also. In this Eclipse you can see for public final class r, there will be one class. This is the class public static final class, public static final class drawable. I am writing here, you can see public static final class drawable. Why this class is final? This class is final, that means we cannot use this class as a superclass. This cannot be subclassed. This r.java file also is final class which cannot be subclassed. If a class is made final, we cannot create subclass of this class. We can make use of this class, and how we can make use of this class we will see. Like that, there is one more class created, public static final class layout. There is one layout folder or not? In the resources folder there is one drawable folder. For a drawable folder it is creating one inner class. In the resources folder there is a layout folder. For layout folder it is creating one inner class. Like that, you can say there is drawable folder, there is layout folder, there is anim, menu and raw folder. For each folder, for all folders inside the rest folder, you can see this is the anim class. Once again you can see this is one more class which is created, a menu class. Like that, there will be one more class called as a raw class. Except values, for values folder the class is not created. What I am telling you here, except the values folder, for all the folders under the rest folder, APT tool will create the inner class except the values folder. For values folder there will not be any subclass. There will not be any, not subclass, but we can say inner class. Instead of this values folder, it will create inner class for this strings, for this diamond and for this style. For example, there will be one inner class, you can see diamond. Diamond is one inner class which is created automatically. There will be one more class called as a string inner class, style inner class. So these are the classes which are created automatically. So here you can see there will be one inner class created, and the inner class name is the public static final class string. S is small. Here the S is small. Here all the subfolders are having names with small letters. So the name of the subfolder, name of the inner class is always small. Like this string, there will be one more class, public static final class diamond. Public static final class diamond. So first point I told you, I will write this point here. And what is that point? I am telling you, in Android, the AAPT tool means Android Asset Packaging Tool. The AAPT tool, Android Asset Packaging Tool, will create r.java file. Automatically it will create r.java file. And what does this r.java file contain? The r.java file contains references for all the resources. What it means? For each folder inside the res folder, it creates an inner class. And in this inner class, it will store the references. It will store the reference where the resources are stored. These things we have to understand. For example, here you can see in the drawable folder right now what is there. If you can see in this res folder, open this drawable folder, there is one file. What is the file name? ic_launcher.png. One image is stored into the res folder drawable folder. And what is the name of the image? IC launcher. So for this it will create one integer variable, public static final integer IC_launcher. And this IC_launcher will contain some reference file. You can see there is one drawable folder already it is created. This drawable folder contains one integer variable IC launcher which stores the value. And what is this value? This value is something memory address. This value is nothing but some address of the memory, some reference of the memory where this image is stored. We know in layout folder right now there is one XML file. You can see there is one layout folder. In this layout folder there are two files now. Yesterday we created one more file, activity_main.xml and welcome.xml. And if you notice this layout inner class, contains two variables, activity_main and welcome. If I right click to this layout folder, if I create a new XML file, what happens? You can see I will create a new XML file, and for this XML file I will give some name. Something like userhome.xml. I am creating one new file, userhome.xml, and I will click here this linear layout as a root element. Click next, click finish, and if you notice the r.java file, here in this r.java file one more value will be added to this layout. See here it is loading some data. Okay, it is automatically building the application. If you open this r.java file once again, I will close this file first and I will open this r.java file once again. Automatically in this layout folder one new file will be created, one new variable will be created. Right now it is loading data for Android. Okay, and there is one option which is already set here. Okay, in project menu you can see build automatically. That means the project will build automatically. All the compilation process will be done automatically. No need to do it manually. Here after it finished this loading data, what I will do, I will open this r.java file and I will notice if there is one variable is created or not for this file. So this is what I want to discuss with you about this final class r.java file. It will create some variable public static final integer activity underscore main file, activity underscore main, and it will store some references like this. Maybe some different number will be there. If there is one more file you are creating, one more variable will be created, public static final integer, some welcome file is created. For this also it will create one variable. Like this, for anim folder, menu folder, raw folder, it will create the inner class, and in all the inner classes it will store the references of the resources. What about this string class? See here, go to this values folder. I want to open this values folder. In this values folder, I will open this string.xml file, and in this string.xml file, already there are 3 strings by default which are created. First is the app name, second is the hello world, another one is the action settings. These are the predefined strings which are created automatically. I will create my own string. I will create one string element. String name is equal to, I will write name is equal to DCE, and here I will write Disha computer education. See, what is my frequent requirement? My frequent requirement is, many times I want to show this Disha computer education label in my application. So instead of writing it manually every time, I will create a string element, and this is the value of that element. Now this is one string, and this string is one object which is created in the memory, and wherever the object is created, the reference of this object will be stored into the r.java file. Now I want to save this file. I am saving this string.xml, and I will open this r.java file, and first thing you can see what happens in the layout folder. In the layout folder you can see this variable is added. Why this variable is automatically added? Because there is one resource file we have created in the layout folder. You can see the string also. You can see here, this is the string class, and the string class contains these strings, including the one we have created, DCE, which is having some reference of the object. This object reference is nothing but the string object. Now you can see this is what it is storing into the string.xml file. Whatever we are creating in the string.xml file, it is creating one variable for it. Basically, in this string.xml file, we can create some array also. In this string.xml file, we can create some string array also. Here I want to create some string array. How to create a string array? You can write like this: string array name is equal to, weekdays, and in this string array we can add some items. We can add some items like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I can write some items. You can see I am writing some items here: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I am writing some items here. I will write some items here. How to use these items, that also we will see today. Thursday, Friday, and I will write here one more item, that is the Saturday. Now you can see this is one string array I am creating in the string.xml. What it will do, it will create one more class in the r.java file. I will write here, in the r.java file it will create one more class, public static final class array. It will create one more class called as array, and in this array class it will create one variable, public static final integer. The name of the variable will be weekdays. This weekdays is nothing but this is the name of the array. and for all the array elements you are creating into the string.xml, it will create one array class, and for all the array elements it will create one integer variable which will store the reference of that array. So here you can see I want to open this r.java file once again, and you will find one array class is created automatically, and in this array class one variable is created automatically. The variable name is the weekdays. So this is how the r.java file is created. Okay, apart from these resources, there are some few points we will discuss later. What it will use, what it will create, some inner classes. For example, it will create some inner classes which are very important. Public static final class ID. It will create one inner class called as a ID. Now when this ID class will be created, I will show you, and how this ID class is useful to us, that also I will show you once I start the UI elements in the next week. Right now these points are enough. The AAPT tool, Android Asset Packaging tool, will create the r.java file automatically, and this r.java file contains the references of all the resources. Resources means any file, any object, anything that we use in our application. That means the non-code related things, and for each folder inside the rest folder it will create the inner class except the values folder. Except the values folder. For values folder it will not create. Except the values folder it will create inner classes, and all the inner classes will store the references wherever the resources are stored. This is the example how these files are created. I will show you one more example of this diamond, what we can store in the diamonds.xml. Close this r.java file. I want to open this diamonds.xml file. In this diamonds.xml file already there are two elements by default created. I will create here one more diamond element. Diamond name is equal to I will write some name here, anything. Right now I am writing anything here, ABC, and I will write here 20 dB. Once again I will create one more dimension. Diamond name is equal to, okay, or I can write here something BT size. Any name you can write, BT size. Here I will write ET size, okay, and I will write here something 30 dp. dp means density pixel. How the measurement is used in Android app, that also we will discuss. Right now I am adding two elements in this diamonds.xml. What is the use of these elements, we will discuss. Right now I just want to show you some demo. Right now I am interested how this r.java file is created. Open this r.java file. You can see diamond class is created, and in this diamond class these variables are created. The first two, actually it was default already created, and these are the two variables that we have created. These are the two elements that we have created, and for the two elements we defined in this diamonds.xml, it is creating two variables, BT size. This is what it is creating in the diamonds.xml. Like that there will be color.xml, strings.xml, color.xml, string.xml, and for everything it will create some classes like this. Now suppose in anim folder there is one file called as custom.xml. For custom.xml it will create final class integer custom, and there will be some reference value. Definitely there will be some reference value, some address of the memory which will be created. Like that in menu class also there will be something, in raw class also there will be something. Some name will be there, sample. Okay, here also some image file will be there, some media file will be there, some sample file will be there. Now what is the next point here? The next point is accessing the resources. Accessing the resources in Java, in Java code. Accessing the resources in Java code. Consider you are writing some Java application, and in the Java application you want to use this image, you want to refer this image. Now to refer this image, already there is one variable which is created under the r.java file, and inside the r.java file there is one folder created, there is one inner class created, drawable inner class, and in this class there is one variable called as a IC launcher. This is an integer variable. Now I want to ask you one question, you can write in the chat message. What is my question? If I want to access this IC launcher, if I want to access this variable IC launcher which is stored in the drawable folder, which is stored in the drawable inner class, how I can access this variable? Can you please tell me how to access this IC launcher? Suppose I am writing one Java code. Here all the people, I want to ask you this question. You can write in the chat message. I want to access this variable which is available in this class, drawable class. How to access this variable? Suppose there is a student class, and in the student class there is one data member variable called as a roll number. How to access the roll number? How to access this IC launcher? Can you please let me know? By creating the object. Fine. This is the static class and this is the static variable. Okay. To access the static variable, no use of object, no need to create the object now. This is the static class. The static class contains only static data members. The static class is a utility class which contains only data members, static data members. Here is the static data member. So we can directly access, means drawable.ic launcher, like that we can access. Okay, the class name. But where this drawable class is available? This drawable class is available inside the R class. Na? The drawable is an inner class inside the R class. So if I want to access this IC launcher, IC launcher.png I want to access in Java. Okay, this is the resource. This is the resource that we want to access. And where you want to access this resource? I want to access this resource in Java. I want to access this resource in Java. I have to write r.drawable.ic_launcher. This is what we will write in the Java code. Now there is one more resource. There is one more resource called as a activity_main.xml. Where this activity_main.xml is available? This activity_main.xml file is available in the layout folder. You can see there is one layout folder. In the layout folder there is one file activity_main.xml. Now programmatically, if I want to access this activity_main.xml resource, where this resource is stored? The resource is stored in the layout inner class. This layout inner class will contain one variable called as a activity_main. This is the static variable. And how to access this variable? Layout.activity_main. And this layout is an inner class of this R class. So if you want to access this XML file, you have to write r.layout.activity_main. Suppose there is one welcome.xml file which is stored under the layout folder. How you access? r.layout.welcome. This R is a main class, layout is the inner class, R is the outer class, layout is the inner class, and welcome is the variable which refers or which stores the reference of this whatever XML file. Now there is one more question to you. I want to access Disha computer education. I want to print in Java. I want to print Disha computer education. How to print means how to access Disha computer education. Can you please let me know? You can write the message in the chat. DCE. DCE is the variable name. DCE is the variable name, and this DCE variable name is stored. Where this DCE variable name is stored? We will see here. The DCE variable name, where it is? Yeah. this DC variable is stored under the string class. So what we have to write here? We have to write string r dot string dot dc, r dot string dot dc. That this is what we have to write. Now suppose I want to print Sunday. I want to print the Sunday. How to print the Sunday? Actually, to print the Sunday, there is one method in Java we have to use. Okay, there is one method we have to use in Java, get string array method. I will discuss this in Java code. Okay, I cannot use like this, Srichan Savan sir, r dot string dash array, because there is one class created. The class name is the array class. Okay, we have to in Java we have to write one code. In Java there is one code actually, get string array. There is one method actually we have to use, get string array, and we have to write here r dot array dot weekdays, r dot array dot weekdays. This is the array name or not? Weekdays is the array name. Weekdays is the array name. Okay, array is the class where this variable is available, where this array is available. So this method will return one string array. This method will return one string array. Okay, and then we have to write str of 0 whatever. Str of 0 means Sunday. This is how we can access the Sunday. This thing I will explain in the Java class. Okay, means the Java section in Android, whatever we are discussing, in that Java section I will let you know how to access the array. Next point, I want to access this hello world. I want to access this hello world. This is one string. Same like this we can access r dot string dot whatever. Not only in Java, in XML also we can access this. How to access this IC launcher through XML? Suppose you are writing XML code, you have to write @drawable slash IC underscore launcher, @drawable slash IC underscore launcher. This is how you have to write in the XML. The same resource if you want to access through XML, you have to write like this, @drawable slash IC launcher. Now if you want to access this resource through XML, how you call? You have to write @layout slash activity underscore main. If you want to access the welcome file through XML, you will write @layout slash welcome. Suppose you want to print this Disha computer education. In XML, you have to write @string slash dc. Right now you can see, if you open this source folder, in this source folder there is one file called as a main activity.java file. I want to open this file, main activity.java, and if I open this main activity.java file, there is one method you will find, set content view. What is the use of this method? I will explain in the next session. In the next session we are starting the Java code. The Java concept we are starting in the next part. But right now, what this means, r.layout.welcome. What this means, r.layout.welcome? This means load this UI element welcome. Whatever you write in the welcome.xml, load this UI element for this activity. Load this user interface for this activity. This activity class is a subclass of activity, so we can call this as a activity. And in this activity class there is one method, onCreate method, which is called for the first time when the activity is created. I will explain this onCreate method and activity in the next session. But right now you can see r.layout.welcome. What it means? r.layout.welcome means it is accessing the welcome.xml file. That means this statement will load the UI element whatever we have defined in the welcome.xml file. And if you right click this, go to this run as option and Android application, what the output you will see? whatever is there in the welcome.xml, that output you will see on your mobile. So I want to show you this application. You can see right now we are launching this application on my mobile. How to connect the mobile, how to configure the mobile, we are going to discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow there will be no new session, but you can attend and you can see how I am configuring this mobile, how I am installing the ADT bundle. I will take the control of you, I will take the control of your computer, and I will show you how to install ADT bundle and how to configure. Right now what you can see here, right now the output you see here, hello Shivaji Mali sir, this is the demo for you, what we have discussed in the previous session. Now instead of this hello Shivaji Mali, I want to print Disha Computer Education. I want to print the Disha Computer Education. So I will go to this welcome.xml. In this welcome.xml, right now what we are printing, hello Shivaji Mali sir. I don't want hello Shivaji Mali sir. I want to print Disha Computer Education. Now where is the Disha Computer Education? Disha Computer Education, one string value which is available in the string.xml. How to access it through XML? @string/dce. Now what is @string/dce? We are accessing the Disha Computer Education. Now if you go and execute the application, I will right click here once again. 1 minute, it is loading, be wait here please. Now I right click this, go to this run as Android application. This is the previous output. I want to select my mobile, click on OK. This is the previous output. Now the new output will be displayed. You can see this is the new output, Disha Computer Education. Now the next point, I don't want to assign this 20 dp manually. I don't want to assign this 20 dp manually. You can see in the diamonds.xml, there is one value called as a 30 dp. I want to access this 30 dp. Here I want to access the 30 dp. Can you please help me here? How I can access the 30 dp here? Please write the message. Any one of you. I want to access 30 dp here. How to access? Srichand Savan sir, @diamond/et size. Very good. We have to write @diamond/et size. What is et size? This is the name we have given in the diamonds.xml. Okay. We will see so many examples of defining the diamonds, defining the strings, defining the styles. We will see so many examples. Right now we are understanding the r.java file and accessing the resources. Now for this text view, whatever I am creating, for this text whatever I want to display, this measurement will be used, this size will be used. Now right click here, go to run as Android application, and we will see the output once again. Here I want to select my mobile, click OK. Right now I am launching this application into my real-time mobile. Right now you can see the size will be changed for this text view. So here this session is over. In this session we discussed the two important points. First point, what is this r.java file, who creates this r.java file, and what this r.java file will store. And another point we have discussed how to access the resources, how to access the resources in Java and in XML. So this is the way we access the resources in Java, and this is the way we access the resources in XML. So here I want to stop today's session. I want to copy these files for you. If there is any question, please raise the question. Tomorrow we are not going to discuss new concept, but we will discuss how to install the ADT, how to configure. Means instead of discussing, I will take the control of your computer and I will show you